What is up, Bras, and welcome back. We have a beefy video for you today to slap with in ranked. So let me tell you about the layout of this video first so that you can jump around to whatever you find interesting. We're going to be starting off with a couple warm-up Azami spots that you can do solo. We're going to thank the sponsor of this video, Rocket and Turtle Beach, and then once we're warmed up, we are going to be going into the new Azami Shield double vault trick. And no, these are not patched. After that, we're going into things like cool angles and lines of sights, plus a new wallbang spot that nobody knows about yet. After those, we have 4 crazy spawn peaks, and then finally, Gamer's new double vaults using strategic door placements, and let's just say, these get insane. I got all of the timestamps down below, so let me know what you think of this video, and if we can get this video to 8,000 likes, then I'll go do a backflip in my yard, break my ankles, and post it on Twitter. Also, if you like this video and you want even more tricks, then go check out my friend, the Dangleberries, because I know he's been going ham this season, and he's been posting a lot of huge brain tricks that I know that you're gonna love too. Up first is Ozzy's Azami trigonometry to get on the server rack on border. You're going to need your first barrier above the double horizontal line where you see me throw, and then you're going to need to make sure that this barrier has a point on the right hand side as shown. From there, just throw another barrier on the top of the point that sticks out while facing east, and see if you can get a vault prompt when you run off of the table. If not, it may not be high enough, but that can easily be fixed with another barrier that's slightly higher. Once you get it down, it'll only require 2 barriers, and this site is probably the second most common one picked on border, and it has tons of high traffic areas. And honestly, there's no attacker that has their crosshairs up here, so you are gonna have the first shot on them and definitely get a kill or two. The second Azami spot is a cheeky placement for the kitchen on cafe. If you look at the head level screw on this pillar, you can then throw a barrier in the middle of the post, and it's gonna extend out to the left, but it's gonna leave a few pixels for you to peek under to have a line of sight on anyone breaching or pushing through the freezer. From the attacker's point of view, it's nearly invisible. So now that we are warmed up and ready to get into the crazy spots, I do want to quickly thank the sponsor of this video that makes it possible for me to run around custom games for 2 weeks without being homeless, Rocket and Turtle Beach. They're no strangers to the channel and to the gaming world because they've been making some of the best gaming gear, from keyboards, headsets, and controllers, like their new Stealth Ultra controller that has a 30-hour battery life, anti-drift thumbsticks, 4 mappable quick action buttons, and even a display screen that you can connect to social media notifications, and tons of settings adjustments that are right there. They even have flight sim, racing wheels, and mobile controllers. I've been using their keyboards for over 2 years now and can honestly say they are amazing, and they make gaming so much better. Right now, both Rocket and Turtle Beach have some great sales going on, and if you'd like to check out any of their products, I have the link down below to take you right there. And as always, code Brah is going to save you 10% across all products. There's a new way to get into crazy spots using an Azami barrier and a shield. If you place a barrier in certain areas, you can use them to get a vault prompt on top of a shield, and if you have a friend pick that shield up before you vault, you can use the hitbox to get elevated, look at an area, and then vault up to high spots. Sometimes you'll need to extend areas out with a second barrier, but a lot of places can be done with just one barrier. This one on Theme Park Bathroom is one of my favorites. On Skyscraper, we can get back on top of the dresser and tea room using the new Azami barrier and deployable shield method. The barrier is going to be needed a couple inches off the floor, and then you can face west, vault over onto the shield, and get a second vault prompt up onto the dresser. On Nighthaven Labs, you can get back onto the huge machine in electrical by placing an Azami barrier just right of the vent on the bottom right, and then you can place the shield on the south side, either facing east or west. After you get a vault prompt over the barrier to land on the shield, have your friend pick up the shield, and then you will vault over, land on the hitbox, turn to the machine, and get a double vault up. In assembly on Nighthaven, you can get on top of the storage boxes in the southwest corner by placing 2 barriers extending out from the garage wall trim. Having the throw projection on here is really helpful so that you can see if the barrier will stick sideways or straight on. You need it to be sticking straight on so that it extends out to the north. After you line up your vault prompt, you will need to vault over when your friend picks the shield up and then immediately look towards the left corner of the black suitcase that's sticking out. This vault prompt is the hardest one to land out of this bunch, but it's one of the coolest spots, so give it a practice in custom games before heading into ranked. On Outback, you can get on top of the wooden chandeliers above Shark using this intricate setup from Gustus and aGamingGamer. Now, before you say how ridiculous this is, let me point you to a clip of us doing this in a real game online. Yes, it's casual, but we're having a ton of fun, and isn't that kind of the whole point of video games anyways? We're not using hacks or glitches, this is literally just using Kiba barriers and shield math to parkour up. Anyways, the first step is you are going to be placing a Kiba barrier on the table that creates a flat surface. After that, somebody is going to need to place a shield using the following lineup. Crouch on the table, stand in front of the letters R and A in the word restaurant on the wall, turn west and align yourself on the left of the drone hole, and then finally look towards the corner of the line in the ground and the drone hole, and then either crouch slowly around or look down and slowly adjust your crosshairs until you can place the shield. The Azami will be gathering her barriers while you do this, and Azami needs to throw one barrier on the top left of the northeast chair, one on the top left of the southwest chair, and then finally one last barrier towards the top of the southwest barrier, but don't put this right at the top, put it about 1 inch below from the very top. After that, the Azami can parkour from the table to the red railing, crouch, find the vault prompt, and then let the friend know that they can pick the shield up. Once the shield starts being picked up, vault and then vault again onto the wooden chandelier, where you can go from one to the other, and if you're careful enough, even get to the top of the light that's on the top of Shark Stairs. On Villa, there's a wooden trim that you can wallbang that's by the huge vault door. This angle is best for defenders because you can get your shots to land towards the bottom of main stairs where attackers are going to be crossing. If you have a cam or some sort of intel on when to shoot, you are definitely going to get called a hacker with this one. On Border, there's this hidden line of sight that goes across the map from the north to the south. This goes through the drone hole, through the bathroom, down the hall, and into waiting room. If you want to play patiently enough when defenders are defending bathroom, you are gonna nail someone with this. Take a look here and see if you can even tell where I get killed from. This angle is one on Theme Park, and it comes from the rappel on the north side from the window and bathroom. When an attacker rappels here, you can actually get a line of sight over the wall, down the entire hall, and it just happens to be perfectly at head height to catch defenders off guard. On Theme Park, there's this really strong angle in Daycare by elevating yourself on the box and shooting through the gaps in the somehow bulletproof palm tree. Yes, even though it's wooden, it's somehow bulletproof. And you're also standing on top of the world's strongest cardboard box. But anyways, yeah, that bulletproof palm tree is going to protect your face while you're getting free kills. This angle goes through to Cafe, which is one of the most common entry points for attackers, and your face also just blends in so well with all the colors and light in this area, so it's a nearly invisible line of sight. In Office on Theme Park, you can elevate yourself on the back of the chair and then put a couple of holes in the wall facing southwest to create an angle that goes through the doorways all the way into break room. This is another off angle that just isn't expected at all, and while it's hard to get a headshot from it, you are definitely going to help delay and put a ton of pressure on an attack that's coming from this direction. On Clubhouse, you can elevate on the southmost chair in church to shoot over the AC vent onto blue stairs when you lean left. It's kind of funny because if the attacker shoots back, they are going to be lower than you, and so their bullets just hit the AC vent and it's fully bulletproof. So you literally have a bulletproof face shield while you can mag dump towards blue. On the north side of church on Clubhouse, you can shoot out the sides of the bookshelf and then go into the northwest corner, lean left, and have this angle that's really awkward to fight against. A lot of people don't even know that this gap exists between the wall and the blue storage chests, so it's a good one to set up and then move back to if you need later in the round. On Cafe, we have a new twist on the spawn peak from Cigar Balcony. If you shoot out the railing and then you do a crouching half drop on the edge, it'll actually allow you to get the exact head height lineup for hitting attackers that run straight towards small. Even if attackers see the window open, most of the time defenders spawn peek standing in pillar hall on the floor below, and if you have other windows open up for a distraction, spotting the dude's forehead that's looking through the sideways support beams is going to be one of the last thing that the attacker spots. By the time he actually tried to line up a headshot on you, he is going to be dead already. On Villa, there's an early kill spot that's possible to land that Nico finally pulled off and shared with the community after going for it for 5 years.
I'm the funny number. 69.
Relax, buddy.
The situation is for when an attacker uses the close building to rappel up into the corner and then check the window for spawn peeks. Little does that attacker know he's just going to get spawn peeked from a drone pixel instead. Absolutely ridiculous angle. There's this insane run out on Canal that you can pull off by running out at exactly 4 seconds into the round and then vaulting onto the far right side vent outside. This spawn peek and timing lines up with attackers right as they get to the top of the staircase from the floating dock spawn, which is the one in the top left corner. Even though you need to do it exactly in order to land, it's pretty safe to go for because you can easily just run back in if you don't see anyone right away, so it makes it a fun one to go for. On Consulate, if you go prone in Visa and shoot out a single panel on the bottom of the barricaded door, you can create this line of sight to the front of the bus that attackers run to. It's pretty hard to see as an attacker, and the defender can easily see any movement as soon as they get to the front of the bus. Plus, the defender has this bulletproof wall on the left side, so it keeps them pretty safe, and it's just so insanely easy to do. It makes it one of my favorite spawn peeks to go for right now. Up next, we have an entirely new double vault method that allows you to get insane height, and all you're doing is running from an elevated surface and vaulting through a prepped door barricade. We're just using this spot on border as an example to show you how insanely high you can get your character, and the next 4 tricks we're going to be using this same method to get into some cool spots that work solo. On Consulate, you can use the new elevated vault trick to get into the windowsill for spawn peeks. Start off by barricading the manager's office doorway and then smacking it twice. After that, vault onto the desk and do a half fall on the west corner of the desk. From there, just stand and sprint at the door while looking at the top left of the door, and once you vault through, push left and land in the windowsill. Obviously, take down the window barricade before doing this, and it works with all defenders, even 3 armors, like you see me doing with Doc in this clip. In Visa on Consulate, you can use the new door barricade double vault trick to get on top of the vending machine and service stairs. Start by prepping a door and then go into the middle of the chairs, push forward until you're elevated on top. Once you're elevated and land, stop for a couple seconds to make sure you don't get teleported back. Once you're on top of the chairs, walk onto the railing, do a half fall on the south side, stand up, run at the barricade and vault, and then immediately look at the vending machine for another vault prompt. From there, you can even run onto the boxes in the corner for the ultimate rat spot. On Outback, you can use the same double vault method to get on the vending machine and back entrance, which is really good when you're defending bedroom downstairs. Simply prep another door, stand on the couch at the end of the hall, and then vault through, look at the vending machine, and vault again. In the kitchen hall on Outback, you can barricade the kitchen door and run from the stove side to get a vault prompt and then a second one onto the vending machine right after. Even though you're out in the open, nobody expects this right now. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you learned something that you think you might use, then consider subscribing because it is free and you can always change your mind. I'll see you all very soon in the next video. I love you all, Brah fam. Peace.